Welcome back. This is still TV3 New Day, and now it's time to talk about a conference that will be taking place very soon. And I have some very distinguished guests on the show who will be telling us all about it. And so just in case you're not aware, there's a 3-day international conference that's going to be taking place. And we're told that the theme is bridging the gap among Africans and Afro-descendants through scholarship, culture, entrepreneurship, and technology. And this is the first Pan-African Heritage World Conference 2021. And so, like I mentioned earlier, I have some distinguished guests in the studios. I have Honorable Kojo Yankah, and he is the founder of the Africa University College of Communications, AUCC. He joins us via Zoom. Good morning, Honorable, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, Bella.
I hope you're well.
Very well.
All right. Also, on Zoom as well, I have another distinguished guest, and he is in the person of Professor Pashington Obeng. He is the chairman of the planning committee for the conference. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
And I hope you're also doing well.
Doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. And then in the studios, I have with me Edmond Akoto Bamfo. He is the Chief Technical Officer of the All African Students Union. How are you doing as well?
I'm fine.
It's good to have you. I'll start off with you, Honorable, and I'd want to know a lot more about this conference and exactly what it hopes to achieve when it takes place.
Yeah, first of all, this is being organized by the Pan-African Heritage World Museum Group. And if you have followed us, the Pan-African Heritage World Museum is designed to bring together the arts, culture, heritage, and the civilization of Africa and peoples of African descent. And we have done the sword cutting in Ghana, and this was done by the President of the Republic. And while we prepare to start construction and also get the museum in place in 2023, we have started sensitizing the minds of people about the need for us to bridge the gap. There has been a big gap between those on the continent and those in the diaspora. So we are starting this conference to kickstart our sensitization of the people of the world about what we are about, so that by the time we get to our conference, at the museum, everybody understands and to be part of it.
Okay, that's interesting then, because again, we've enjoyed some attention worldwide because of year of return. It was supposed to be, beyond the return in 2020, and then COVID struck. And so we're now getting people coming into the country. And so this is important. But there have been concerns, and maybe Prof. Pashington, I'll bring you in, because there have been concerns that we're creating this attention for Ghana and asking people to come back home to reconnect with their roots. And yet when they come, we have very limited tourist sites for them to go and take a look at what we have as a history and to connect. And so I can imagine how important this museum would be for these people as well.
Thank you for clarifying it for us. Most people tend to focus on sites, physical spaces, as being the sources of attraction. But the sites are occupied by people and cultural practices, so that it's not just the physical aspects of culture that should grab people's attention. When you encounter the Ghanaians and other nationals who have spent time in Ghana, they'll be able to exhibit certain tendencies that are richer than physical spaces.
Okay, and well, let me just bring you in. I thought he was going to carry on with a lot more of that, but I would want you to also tell me a bit more about, how this connects to the conference and how important it is for all of us as well.
At the All Africa Students Union, we are looking at the sustainability of the vision of Honorable Yankah under the leadership of Prof. Pash. We believe that to ensure the sustainability, the young people must get involved. We must take ownership of this dream. It is not an old man's dream. It is not something that we expect someone else to do. We have to do it for ourselves. And the only way we can do it is to get the youth involved, to get young students involved, to get them to associate with the African culture, so that when we are creating solutions for anything that happens, we can be able to create African solutions for African issues. That is where we come in, and that is what we bring to the table, and we want to contribute.
And that's the struggle, because, Honorable and Prof, I'll come to you, because it feels like a lot of young people have imbibed the Western culture so much that, you know, we look at the African culture and think that that is substandard to everything else that is Western. And I can imagine how much work has been put in place to change this narrative and change the perception that young people have about the African culture. What have been your difficulties with regards to this particular issue with young people?
Well, I must say that we started early, and that's why we are working with the All African Students Union. In the past, a lot of these programs have left them behind, and they have not seen much involvement. So our project has decided to work with the youth, not only in Ghana, but across the Pan-African world. We have members in almost all African countries, and then they ASU has members all over the continent, and we have youth in other parts of the on the globe, in the diaspora and in the South America, who are all members of this organization, to send the message forward that it is time that we wrote our own narration, that we should tell our own story, and they should be part of it right from the beginning.
Indeed.
We are very proud that we have a very active youth movement supporting the project that we are putting in Ghana.
Has this come a little too late, if I may ask, Professor Pashington? Has this come a little too late for us?
You can tell from my responses so far that I'm not dwelling on the negative.
Of course.
I am prepared, and we are working together to awaken the youth as well as seniors in the society to the possibilities, the options that they have to grow themselves into our own traditions rather than what you have been harping on. We have westernized, yes, but underneath such westernized propensities are behavior patterns and stories. And so if a conference like this focuses on how do we tell our own story?
Indeed.
That's where we will begin to showcase what we have had that has been overlooked either in the media or by books that other people have written because of their emphasis that they do put on, we have forgotten everything. We haven't forgotten everything. There is so much that we are revisiting through this bridging of the heritage gap.
Okay, so tell me more about this conference and, you know, all the details.
The conference starts on the 5th to the 7th. However, on the 5th, we have the pre-conference, and we intend to start, we are starting with the youth. So the young people taking ownership and leading this conference, we intend to start with a youth session. One is a webinar hosted by the All Africa Students Union.
Okay.
But every day we are starting the conference at 1 p.m. Ghana time. And from 2 to 4, we are going to have this webinar. Then afterwards, we are going to have the welcome reception. On the second day, we start again at 1 o'clock. And the sessions will flow. We have the opening session, which we expect speakers like Prof. Molofe Kate Asante, who is the chair of the Department of Africology and African American Studies, Temple University, United States of America, and other speakers to open the session. Then we have other group breakout sessions that we will be having. Of particular interest is, again, to revisit the issue of the youth and all of that. We are looking at creativity, innovation, and the youth. And that will be a session that will be taking place on the second day.
Okay.
Of the.
Will that be a competition, or what exactly would it be?
It's a discussion, but we hope that that will not be an end in itself. We are hoping that the discussion will be a step for a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Indeed.
So that's the step. On the last day, again, we start at 1 o'clock Ghana time, and we hope to receive all the group reports. We don't want to just discuss and make it a talk shop and move away. So on the last day, we receive all the group reports, and then we have a closing session.
Okay.
Because I believe that with this conference, people will be able to network, people will be able to start innovative ways of building back for our culture, start taking ownership, and we believe that this is just the first step. It's being the first conference, subsequent conferences, and then the opening of the museum in 2023 will all come to cement what we are working towards.
All right, so this will be a hybrid and virtual conference altogether.
Yes, please. We have a physical aspect and then a virtual aspect.
And so for those who would want to join virtually, can you please give me the details of how they can be a part of it?
Okay, so we encourage everybody to register on the conference website, www.pahw.org, and when they go there, they can be able to register. However, for the pre-conference webinar, we encourage everybody to register on the website. The details are there. And for the pre-conference webinar, it will also be live on the AAU social media networks and then the All Africa Students Union social media networks.
All right. Prof, I'll come to you. So final takeaway from all of this for young people and everybody else who would want to take part, if they should be a part of it, what's that one thing that you want them to take away from the conference?
To be proud to be African and Afro descendant, to be proud to know that there are vehicles through which they can constantly reconnect with their roots, to know and project that with a sense of dignity and respect.
Indeed. Honorable Yankah, what about you? What would be that takeaway message from you?
Takeaway message is that the process has begun for all of us to unlearn and relearn all that we have done over the years. We have so much to know about our history, about our art, about our culture that we haven't known before. Through this conference, we'll open the door for more knowledge to come to all of us.
Indeed.
So that we shall start addressing ourselves more with self-confidence and pride in our culture.
Indeed. And Akoto, I'll take my final words from you as well before we wrap up. What makes you proud to be African, first of all?
The rich heritage,
Okay.
the history, and the potential that Africa possesses.
And for young people, is this the same message that you send to them, that if
That
they
they
have
should
to
take ownership of their destiny. We cannot rely on Honorable Yankah and Prof. Pash to do everything. We should lead and take ownership. And that means we should get involved. We should be at the table, not on the table as a menu.
We should be at the table and not on the table as a menu, and we should also take ownership. That is what we're getting from our three guests this morning. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to come back to you later, of course, to get some more details about the museum. We would want to be a part of all of this. And so young people out there, it's important that you also take part. Be active in the conversation and be active in everything that it takes to make sure that our history is preserved and owned by us as Africans. I've been speaking to Honorable Kojo Yankah, and he is the founder of the African University College of Communications. Also, I've been speaking to Professor Pashenting Obeng, who is the chairman of the planning committee. And in the studios with me, I have had Edmond Akoto Banfo. He's the technical officer for the All African Student Union. Thank you so much. And thank you again